Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Milchin here. I'm going to read the next 3 chapters in our book, Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. So here we go, chapter 26. Very clever, said Charles, pulling another silhouette card out of a book. This cover had been easy to find. It was the 3rd book on the top shelf of the staff picks display. The image on the front was a bright yellow yield sign. The title, Universal Road Signs by renowned trafficologist Abigail Rose Painter. Charles had found the matching book in the 300s room on the 2nd floor. The 300s were all about social sciences, including things like commerce, communication, and, ta-da, transportation. The image also fit nicely with the pictogram he had found in the 700s room in a book called The Umpire Strikes Back. The baseball book was the first cover on the 2nd shelf in the display case and had given Charles a card with the classic pose of an umpire calling it out. Reading the images from left to right, then down, just like you'd read a book, Charles knew he was on the right track. The traffic sign book gave him walk, and the umpire book gave him out. The 2 picture words put together, and he had walk out. Clearly, if he could find all 12 silhouettes, the staff picks display would tell him how to walk out of the library. Although he had absolutely no idea what the first image he had found, the quarterback tossing a pass, had to do with escaping the library. Not yet, anyway. 3 down, 9 to go, said Charles, winking up at the security camera. And, Mr. Lemoncello, if you're watching, may I just say that you are an extremely brilliant man. Charles had never sucked up to a video camera before. He figured it was worth a shot. Maybe Mr. Lemoncello would send him a bonus clue or something. Instead, when Charles stepped out of the 300s room, somebody sent him Andrew Peckelman. The Google-eyed library geek was sputtering mad as he rushed down the steps and stomped around the 2nd floor balcony. Stupid library, stupid Lemoncello, stupid Finks, and Sekhmet. Why so glum, Andrew? Charles called out. Because this game stinks. Mr. Lemoncello just sent a bunch of holograms hurling hieroglyphics after me. He could put somebody's eye out with those things. Really? With a hologram? Hey, they're made with lasers, aren't they? Indeed. Say, speaking of hieroglyphics, where might I find a book about a picture language? Ha! Why would I help you? Because Kyle Keeley is working with Akemi Hughes and Sierra Russell. I imagine it is only a matter of time before your friend Miguel Fernandez joins their team too. Miguel isn't my friend. Besides, I'm better at navigating my way through a library than he'll ever be. I know. That's why I want you on my team. Really? Charles smiled. Kids like Andrew Peckelman were so easy to manipulate. Oh yes. Work with me, and I guarantee the world will know you should be the head library aide at Alexandriaville Middle School. The 400s, blurted Peckelman. Pardon? That's where you'll find books on hieroglyphics and all kinds of languages. If you want secret codes, those are in the 600s room. The 650s, to be exact. Charles shot out his hand. Welcome to Team Charles, Andrew. The new teammate stepped into the 400s room. For some reason, it was pitch dark and smelled like pine trees. Buenvenida, buenvenu, witami, kuakaribisha. Welcome, boomed a voice from the ceiling speakers. This is the 400s room, home of the foreign languages. Here, Charles and Andrew, you can learn all about your American heritage. A bank of spotlights thumped on. Charles and Andrew were face to blank face with a row of 4 featureless mannequins. An overhead projector beamed a movie onto dummy number 2, turning it into a perky woman who looked like a flight attendant. Hello, and welcome to Your American Heritage. I'm Debbie, Let's begin your voyage." "That's okay," said Charles. "We're rather busy." "Let's begin your voyage," the mannequin repeated. Charles sighed. Obviously, there was no way to turn the silly display off. He might as well speed things along by telling the dummy what it wanted to hear. "Fine, but can we go with the abridged version? We're in a bit of a rush." "Yeah," added Andrew. "We have to escape before noon tomorrow." The woman, whose body remained frozen while a movie made her face and costume spring to life, reminded Charles of the graveyard statues from the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World. "While we research your family trees," she said, "please enjoy this short and informative film." "Is this part of the game?" Andrew whispered to Charles. "Possibly. Pay attention for any bonus clues." "Okay, what do they look like?" "Who can ever say?" A screen behind the life-size dummies leapt to life with all sorts of scratchy images of people huddled together on the deck of a boat near the Statue of Liberty. "4 decades," narrated the ceiling voice. "Public libraries have probably served America's newest citizens, the immigrants who flock to these shores yearning for the freedom to build their own American dreams." Charles really wasn't interested in this kind of stuff. His ancestors were all Americans. The only language they spoke was English. Yes, the library is where many new arrivals journey first, to learn their new homeland language, to keep in touch with the world they left behind, to search for gainful employment that will make them productive residents of their newly adopted home. The movie dissolved into blackness. "Thank you for your kind attention," chirped the cheerful Debbie. "We have completed your American family tree. Let's meet your first American ancestors." 2 mannequins sprang to illuminated life, both of them dressed in traditional Thanksgiving pilgrim costumes. "I know who they are already," said Charles. "That's John Chillington and his wife Eleanor. They came to Plymouth Colony on the Mayflower. Can we move on to Andrew's family, please?" "Of course," said Debbie. The mannequin quickly went through Andrew Peckelman's ancestry. Apparently the family name had originally been Pickleman because they made pickles. After a prolonged parade of pickle people, the dummies took on the guise of Andrew's most famous ancestor, a guy in horn-rimmed glasses and a tweed sport coat named Peter Paul Peckelman. "I appeared on the TV game show Concentration in 1968, he announced, "and won a room full of furniture and wood paneling for my rumpus room." Charles smiled. He knew the TV game show Concentration was very similar to Mr. Lemoncello's phenomenal picture word puzzles, one of the games he had picked up at the toy store. Peter Paul Peckelman, claimed to fame, was further confirmation that piecing together the picture puzzle would show Charles how to escape from the library. He'd been right. The dummies had given him a bonus clue. Chapter 27. Excited by the sudden appearance of the second bonus card, Sierra read it out loud. 2 + 2 can equal more than 4. Put 2 and 2 together, and you'll be closer than before. Akemi raised her hand. "Yes," said Sierra. "You do realize that Miguel here isn't on our team." "Oh, right. Sorry." Miguel turned to Kyle. "You guys are a team?" "Yep. You want to join?" "Maybe. Not sure. Check back with me later, man." "No problem," said Kyle. He fist-bumped his chest. Miguel fist-bumped his. Then they were flashing each other peace signs when Sierra said, "I think this means we should all play together as a team. Remember what it says on the fountain down in the lobby? Knowledge not shared remains unknown." "Maybe," said Miguel. "Like I said, let me get back to you guys. I'm working on a few angles of my own. Flying solo." "Sure, no problem." Kyle was about to do the whole fist, chest, bump, peace sign thing again when he had a brainstorm. "Miguel, quick question. What's on your library card?" Miguel shrugged. "My name and the number 1. "Anything else, like on the back?" Nothing really. Couple of books. Two? Yeah. What are their titles? Miguel bit his lip. Don't want to say. Because you think they might be clues? Not saying what I might or might not be thinking, bro. Kyle nodded. There are two different books on the back of everybody's library card, said Akemi, thinking out loud. Put two and two together and you'll be closer than before. The book titles are some sort of clue. My books are one, Akemi? Kyle shook his head, nodded towards Miguel. Right, sorry, my bad. Okay, Miguel, said Kyle. If and when you decide to team up with us, you can show us the two books on the back of your card, and we'll show you ours. We'll also split the prize 4 ways. Deal? Deal. Come on, guys, Kyle gestured towards the exit. Where are we going? Asked Sierra. Kyle dropped his voice. The electronic learning room. You want to play video games? Said Akemi. Now? Seriously? Kyle, we may need to rethink your status as team captain. I don't want to play video games. I want to check out the discard pile. Huh? The cards the players who went home early dumped onto the goldfish bowl. I'm coming with you guys, said Miguel. I've been thinking about those extra cards too. Fine, said Kyle. Whatever. When they entered the game room, they saw Clarence, his arms folded across his chest, genie style. He was standing guard in front of the discard pile. May I help you? He asked. Yeah, said Kyle. We want to check out the cards in the bowl. Sorry, said Clarence. You can't have them. But, Mr. Lemoncello, his face suddenly appearing on every video screen in the room, you can win them. Dressed in a polka-dotted bow tie and a snazzy jacket like a game show host, Mr. Lemoncello had one arm resting on the slender plexiglass podium. Behind him, Dr. Zinchenko was all decked out in a sparkly red mini dress, looking like one of the models that point at prizes on the TV. Are the 4 of you ready to play Let's Do a Deal? When Mr. Lemoncello said that, he pushed a big red button on his podium. A pre-recorded audience whistled, cheered, and applauded. Let's do a deal? Asked Kyle. My first game ever to be turned into a TV show, brought to you by Lemon Pledge. Dr. Zinchenko started singing, Lemon Pledge, very pretty, put the shine down, lemon good. Thank you, Dr. Z, said Mr. Lemoncello, bopping the button to make the audience cheer again. Now then, kids, here's the deal. Solve one picture puzzle, and you 4 win the 5 cards in the bowl. And if we lose? Simple. Each one of you loses his or her library card and adds it to the discard bowl for our next lucky contestants to try and win. He banged the red button again. The audience cheered exactly the same way they cheered before. Kyle turned to the others. What do you guys say? Let's do it, said Akemi. Sierra nodded. Miguel, I'm in, bro. You're joining our team? Absolutely. They knocked knuckles to seal the deal. Mr. Lemoncello whacked his button again because the canned studio audience started cheering. Kyle wondered what the sound effects would be if he and his friends lost their library cards, playing Let's Do a Deal. Probably groans and weeping. Lots and lots of weeping. Chapter 28. Now then, said Mr. Lemoncello, are you ready to play Risking Everything for 5 little library cards? Kyle swallowed hard. He nodded. All right, you maniac mages, here is your picture puzzle. The category is famous quotes. You have 60 seconds to solve this rebus. Wait a second, said Akemi. What's a rebus? You figure out the words in a phrase by looking at pictures and symbols, said Kyle. For instance, added Miguel, the letters R and E plus a picture of a school bus would equal rebus. Oh, okay, said Akemi. You guys say so. Are you ready to play? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Kyle looked at his teammates who nodded. Yes, sir. Then on your mark. Get set. Go, dog, go! Mr. Lemoncello's image disappeared. Tick-tock clock music started playing. The video screens all projected the same picture. This is the picture. We're officially dead, said Akimi. 55 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Okay, we break it up 4 ways, said Kyle. The first and third rows are similar. I'll do them. I'll do the last one, said Akimi. I'll take the second row, said Miguel. I'm 4, said Sierra. 50 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Everyone went to work. Mine is some guy hitting himself in the thumb, but with a GR and an O, muttered Akimi. Then the male symbol where the LE equals RX? Marks? Does that make sense? Hello, Kyle, is my second half Marks? Kyle didn't answer. He was too busy deciphering his own clues. Outlet, change the LET to SID, he mumbled. Golf, minus the G and the L, the letter A. 40 seconds. Dog. He dropped the third line. He just needed the first word. Bowling pins without the P, but add an IDE. 30 seconds. Kyle glanced at Miguel. He was moving his lips, mouthing his part of the quote, Sierra too. You guys ready? Kyle whispered. Hang on, said Miguel. 20 seconds. Okay, go. He read the first line. Outside of a dog, Miguel picked up the thread. A book is a man's best friend. Kyle continued. Inside of a dog, Sierra took over. It's too dark to read. Akimi brought them home. Groucho Marx. Is that your final answer? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Yes, said Kyle. And then he repeated the entire quote. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx. Bells rang. Chaser lights flashed. The audience went wild. Akimi and Sierra actually squealed and hugged each other. You are correct, shouted Mr. Lemoncello. There's no dead end in Norvelt. Not today. Take those 5 library cards, Team Kyle. You won them fair and square. Charles and Andrew heard a commotion on the 3rd floor. Bells ringing, an audience whooping it up, girls squealing. Come on, Charles. They raced up the stairs and peeked into the Electronic Learning Center. Kyle Keeley and his teammates were all hugging each other and slapping high fives. On every video screen in the game room, Charles could see a pictogram puzzle. What's going on in there? Whispered Andrew. They might be gaining on us, Charles whispered. We need to pick up our pace, quick. And where would I find a book called Hoosier Hospitality, written by Eve Healy Aresti? 900's room. Let's go. Charles and Andrew scurried back to the 2nd floor in the 900's room, where they found Haley Daly holding Hoosier Hospitality by Eve Healy Aresti. Oh, hello, you guys, she said, slamming the book down. Charles moved towards her slowly. Find anything interesting in that book, Haley? Not really, she giggled. Just a bunch of dumb junk about Indiana. Charles knew she was hiding something. I wonder, Haley, if you and I might share a quiet word. He turned to Andrew. In private. Does that mean I'm supposed to leave? Yes, Andrew. It's for the good of the team. Trust me. Okay, but I'll be right outside that door if you decide to double-cross me or something. Thank you, Andrew. This will take a quick minute. Peckelman left the room. Smiling, Charles moved even closer to Haley. So close he could smell her bubblegum, or shampoo, or maybe both. Let's stop over here, he said, taking Haley by the elbow. I found another fascinating book that I think you'll just love. He guided her to a spot behind a bookcase where their conversation couldn't be observed by the security cameras blinking up in the ceiling. Haley went with Charles. If he'd been looking for the same book she'd just found, that meant he was playing the library escape game along a similar path. Charles Chitlington might have clues Haley could use, clues she needed. Rumor has it, Charles whispered, that your parents wrote your library essay for you. Haley was grinning. Obviously, Charles would try to bully her into joining his team. Fine, she'd pretend to be frightened. What? She whispered back, pretending to be terrified. That's a lie. My dad just helped me with some of the spelling. Aha! So you admit it. All the spelling in your essay wasn't your own. Okay, this was going to take more acting skill than usual. Having someone check your spelling wasn't against anyone's rules for anything. She widened her eyes, made her lips quiver. What do you want, Charles? For you to join my team. Why should I do that? 2 reasons. 1, if you're on my side, your flagrant plagiarism remains our dirty little secret. 2, I know what to do with the silhouette card you just found in the Hoosier Hospitality book. You do? Oh, yes. If we share our clues, the pictures will create a phrase telling us how to find out the alternate exit. Haley smiled. For real. This was working out perfectly. She'd get all their clues, and even if they won together, Mr. Lemoncello would definitely make her the real star of his TV commercials. She had zazz. Charles and Andrew did not. Okay, she said, deal. I'm on your team. Then she handed Charles the clues she had found in the Hoosier books. Of course, said Charles. After all, Indiana is the Hoosier state. And that's